that. Let's connect to our regular broker, Blue Guardian Futures. Let's go here. All right, let me just get everything kind of situated.
Connected.
I bought an additional challenge. I'm gonna try to go for five in total funded. I have 3 with Blue Guardian. I'm trying to go for, I think they able to have 5 is what I checked.
Connected.
Try to get 5 fundeds from Blue Guardian. I have 2 from my funded, and then we can try to go 5. Maybe I should flip this thing around. Hold on a sec. All right. Oh, this all saves. Nice. Okay. So we got, this is number 4. Sorry, this would be 4. So from this area, practically this area, this is where resistance, and we're breaking it. This is where, let's mark that red. Okay. And then we got value high up here. Let's see what the daily is. Daily's probably somewhere up here. Daily value high is somewhere right around here. Okay. So, we can do 2 things here. Wait for the breakout again, which I don't think is going to happen, but we already broke above value from, so we could, this could be a crazy day and we just climb even higher. You have all these people that shorted that got absolutely destroyed. Everyone that was like, bombs going off, we're short in the market no matter what. Yeah, they played you. Not cool. But that's how, I don't know how many times I've seen it where you think, no way, news related, there's no way this is going up. Bombs are dropping, interest rates are climbing, whatever it may be. And they end up doing what everyone says is there's no way it's going to happen. I think they like to play games with the market, and they like to go off pure statistics and saying, you know what, I don't think this war is going to be a forever war. So they have some sort of pre-knowledge that this is not going to be a long-term conflict, and that's possibly what could be. So, can you hear me, Dad? Hello? Can you hear me now, Dad? Okay, so let's just take a look. We already saw this today, so technically value was supposed to go lower. It did go lower. Value is still technically lower. I mean, we're in the complete expensive range. I do not want to be going long here, especially since the value of everything's. So for shorts, we want this area right here where aggressive selling's happened to break, possibly POC, and then we sell down to like this POC. That's would be a good. So let's say like a trade from, I don't know, somewhere. Let's just put an example. Let's say somewhere from like here. Oh, it's kind of big stop loss. That's not going to be the stop loss, but to like here. Yeah, somewhere right around there. That's where I think you could catch a nice short. And you can see right here, look at this. The CVD keeps on getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And we're in expensive range. So if I'm taking into consideration CVD, we're making lows as we're climbing. And then on top it all off, we look at the TPO profile, or the right here, and we're in the heavily expensive range. We're even above Friday's expensive range. So we're technically in the area where we'd want to short. Like if we go above this, this is the area where you most likely want to short. right above this area. And you have all these strong volume that's right here from this day too when we broke. So not saying that it can still push up, but now we mark out the area right here where the aggressive sells took place. Okay, so we have the idea of where aggressive sells took place right now at the top. We're bouncing off the value high, and we could be going lower. So yeah, let's try to pass this one. I'll have 5 funded with Blue Guardian, or 4 funded with Blue Guardian, and then 2 with my funded in total, and I have 1 that I've been trading with my funded for the longest time. So, yeah, this market's been nuts. I mean, just these moves are just from here to here is 100 points. That's disgusting. From here to here is like almost another 100 points. Just a little range, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we did come off the buyer low. So we see it bounce off the POC. This is where all the volume was. Interesting. Okay. What are we looking at now? That's what we're looking at. I'm not taking a trade yet. I'm gonna wait till we get a break or absorption up here, and then we get a break below this where the aggressive sells last took place. So, to be honest, I would want to see a break. Jesus, somewhere right around there. If we break this, absorption, break, we can get a trade down to this point of control. We have a lot of things that are acting in conjunction with this short play too. So we have our area of interest, we have our bias, our longer term bias. I know today we've gone up and we've gone above value. I'm curious to see how this closes. If this closes way up here, then I could see a nice move up because they're wanting to push value higher by tomorrow. Just depending on how it closes today. We still have like 3 hours, so a huge drop could happen, a huge pump again could happen. We're just going to be aware of the areas, and right now we're in super expensive range technically for the day, so this is the expensive range. We're above Friday's value high, so that's area marked out. This is like a 3-day profile, so see, we came here, we tapped in here, and try to move up, found value lower. We came to this POC, which was right here, tapped into there, found value, and then pushed higher. So let's see how aggressive buying happens up here. Just go from here. Shit's growing, or even buying the tops. Okay. Okay. So if we break this value low, we can see it test this. See like a break and retest. Yeah, that's kind of where my box is sitting at anyway, so And this is where all the value is being traded at. So let's wait and see. We take a short there if it breaks, probably like a break and retest off the value area low, or this is where the sellers were last time. This is the short I took earlier. It was actually a really good trade. Let's remove that real quick because I don't want to see that. Yep, this was it right here. Look at this value low. Tap, 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 boom. Had nice expansion up. Then we had this candle here, expansion up. So I did not expect this move up, but a day like today, for sure, I could see it happening, especially with how we're moving from the market open. I mean, look at market open. I wasn't even awake for all this. These are massive 1 minute candles. I mean, you go from here. This is basically like a 1 minute, almost 100-point candle. It's fucking nuts. I don't get how. Yeah, and you saw aggressive buying. So once we close back over here, you could have gone long here. Let's say it goes here, came down, we closed above, boom. Taking it up. Stops below there. Push up again. And we got to adjust to how the market's handling. So let's see what happened up here. I just want to get an idea of we're in consolidation. More buying took place up there. I don't see a lot of selling delta up there, which is crazy. And technically, for buying, what I want to see is a retest of, so that's a selling area. This is here. I'll just make this red. Oop. Make that red. Okay, and then for the buying, consolidation. So I don't know if I want to do much buying up here. Like I said, we're in the discount range, so I'm kind of like, I don't think we'll pull back heavily. We could, especially if shit pops off in Iran or something starts happening like crazy. We'll see. You're getting very strong buying up here, right into those areas where like buying's really starting to happen. Question is if it's going to hold. I don't know. Do I want to take a breakout long here? Probably not, because we're already at discount or expensive range. We're like way above value. So, and most of the time, yeah, we could close above value. That's definitely a possibility. But most of the time it closes between the value high and the value low. Most of the time. Or at the point of control. We might close slightly below it or above it. So let's say, for example, this one, like we closed above value. What was going to happen? We came down, we got above value again, but then value shifted. We closed below value. So what was going to happen this time? Value was going to shift again. We shifted again. And then what happened here again, since we didn't short, value shifted, so we broke this. We came down, value broke below again. What happened? Value again, shifted lower. We kind of broke with the POC, so that was going to be kind of a sideways day. Volume was in there. And then what happened was profile kind of shifted to the higher side, but price closed below the value low. Then we close again and value goes lower. And we hit this POC. As soon as we hit this POC, volume kind of started to kick in. And then we closed kind of near the value high, so price went up again. This is 3 days combined. It was choppy, so eventually on the third day, price was above value high, shoot higher. Price went again above value. And then the next day was kind of a shocker. Came up here and then it just sold off. And ended the day right near the value low. So technically, I was going to have shorts at this point. Shorts again. And we did. Value went lower. Value was lower. Went lower again. So, bias in the market for sure. I'm going to be looking at shorts right now. Just going from the heavier time frames, the 1 day going down. So if we have absorption up here in the same areas, CVD is going down as we're making highs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a short here. And then what we'll do here is we'll target, okay, we're aggressive. Buying up there, we'll go 2 to 1. Two to 1. We'll go right there. Then we should see aggressive, yeah. Aggressive selling, this is good. As long as this doesn't get held up and sellers provide. Actually, this is the area right here. So this is where we're selling. I probably should have waited till we broke this and then went in, but I think we're gonna get that anyways. And then once we break the value low, if we break this and start climbing down, we're gonna see a nice move all the way down if it like tests and just breaks. But you're starting to see the CVD kind of shift negative again. A little bit of absorption play here. We'll see how this pans out. But right now we're off the point of controls down here. So we're going to at least head to here. This will be the telltale of whether point of control holds up again and we push higher, or we break this area and we see a nice expansion move down. And you could see it go all the way down to here. This is where all the buyers were trying to push. We finally broke. And then they got another play and broke even further. Now look at this. Huge amount of sells here. So if this breaks, we are absolutely solid. This will probably hit full take profit. If this gets absorbed, we are absolutely going to get liquidated. This is a very aggressive order. They're all in the same area too. Look at this. They're all in the exact right here, right into this area. So once we close above that, you got aggressive buying, got destroyed, and selling is starting to take over. These are huge orders. So we'll see if buyers actually step in. You can see in the CVD that we're getting, this was a large order. It was 300 plus contracts, I think it was. Yeah, 250 plus another, yeah, 30, yeah, about 280. So we can have a reaction to this area. And what we can see here is whether sellers are absolutely serious and we close below. And this would have been a good place. Just to, like, you could have a short stop here. But what I want to see here is sellers succeed and buyers fail to push. And at this bottom area will be where most sellers were, so where the POC was. So between that and that, we should see a close below here, and then we can see what happens after that if there's a further test. But nice little hold up by the buyers. I think it's temporary. I'm gonna grab my little gum I chew. How we looking, fam? Ugh. Oh shit, it's not good. No, I think we're okay. We'll see. We had absorption up here in this area, and you have your strongest selling here, and we did break. So super aggressive selling here. If this breaks this, I can move my stop above this. Aggressive buying. I could lessen my risk in half at that point. And what I think we're going to climb to is we're going to test the POC. If this breaks, and this breaks aggressively, and we start to break this area right here, the value low, once we break this, this is going to shift, and this will go all the way down to here. And let me just mark this out, just so. Let's just make it purple, because that's always my POC line. And that's where we're going to head. You could take a trade from here, or wait till the value low test, and then down. I took it slightly above the POC. And again, this is riskier, and I don't like doing this. But the more probable trade, we wait till it breaks the value low. And that's where I would take a short for sure at the lowest point. So now, aggressive buying did not succeed. Good sign. Now what we could do, if once this breaks, our stop goes above there, and our risk will only be $200. But as of right now, it's 600. Huge. So let's just wait and see. I want to see a closure below this to show sellers are like I was calling this before it even happened. You had CVD, it kept on getting lower and lower, so we're making highs, and CVD kept on saying, "Oh no, selling still absorbing a little bit, and then once you get this break, test to the high again, and you get absorption, and you get a break with aggressive sellers. That's when you'll start to see some movement to the downside." And to top it all off, my analysis together, and we're in the expensive range even for Friday. So we're above value or high. So anywhere in this range, when we start to see this on the smaller time frames, I think this is a good area to go short. I think it's a better probability where your shorts will play out. I know we're bullish for the day. So we'll see. This is just what my analysis was telling me, and I'm going to go with the flow and take the risk. Let's see how this tracks. If I hit my take profit, I will call it a day. I'll be done. And you're seeing this, the CVD it was starting to move off of the high. It was starting to get negative and more negative. So we should see an expansion move down. They're going to have to bring it down in order for things to get cheaper again, unless the value shifts, which it's not going to shift today. It could shift on the daily standpoint, but on the TPO profile, it roughly stays the same because you need a lot of volume. This is where all the volume lies. So we could come all the way down to back to 900. That's something I could definitely see reasonably happening. Once we close below here, you could take a short here, but you're close to the POC. I would wait till the value area low for this area. So we have marked out our area with a delta. We are reject off the value high, and we need aggressive selling below here in order for us to see. So what we could do now, and this is what I don't like. I really don't like being around the POC because it tends to bounce around. We'll see. See this range right here. Technically, yeah, we're technically at the value area low. Technically, if you draw this range from this range. And this is where the most majority of the volume took place up here. So this short was not bad. You could short right here. So now, like I said, per stop above there, we're just $200 to make 1,000 at this point. I know before like 500, so cut our risk in half. And then you're seeing this last area where we had aggressive sells where it failed. So if it succeeds this time and buyers don't hold us up, then we'll start to see the move down into these areas. So we're seeing some buying. Hasn't quite held up yet, but we'll see. What I'll do is I'll put it above the point of control. I'll do that. That's where the point of control. Because now what we're going to see is either come back up, test the value low, and then fall lower. Right above that candle. That'll be your stop candle. If this fails, then we could move our stop to break even, and there it is. Now we're starting to get a little bit of the selling coming in. Buyers starting to fail a little bit. And CVD is following move, pursuit down. So this is a great trade. And there we go. We're going to get into this range here, right below this range, and then possibly retest right around these highs. Most likely going down to the point of control. You see with cumulative delta, it's still dropping. Very well executed trade. I kind of saw the move shifting as we with the CVD, the double top, the absorption. We got absorption when they try to climb back up, lots of wicks. And what you wanted to see was, I think what Fabio actually talks about, is the closure below. So we saw this as a candle close, and it closed within there. So that was a good closure of these big bubbles. So all right, we just need to see this close below, and then we'll be all good. This is the next big area for shorts. Right here. This is where they failed last time, so we're going to come down to this range and probably retest this area. And then if they break this, then we can move our stop from. So now we can protect ourselves. Because we failed to break that. We could technically move our stop if we wanted to above here, but I'm just going to keep it here for give us some room. And then now we're going to start to see aggressive selling. So risking 500 was like 4 something to make about 1100. Not bad. Not a bad risk to reward. This could where you could have entered to. Stop could have been above here if you wanted a small risk, like from. Let's go from here. So you sell here. And then you could have gone. Oh, it's so hard. Right here. Above here, 2 to 1. You could go like right here if you wanted to. That would be a good trade too. Most likely going to come test this value area low. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it above here. And the reason being there is we're going to retest this value low, broke it, retest, and then we should continue to fall. And then we could just protect ourselves once we close back below here. That'd be the best protection point. That was a very strong buying candle, but we'll see if buyers are able to hold this up, push it even higher. Then we're getting aggressive sells there. So it's right here. So we're testing this area right here, the value low. And that's the area where you'd want to go short. You can short there. I think I'm in a good area to short still, regardless. So let's just do a little bit of just want to do a little bit of I think for this range, this is where it becomes cheap. So we're right below it. And that's why I don't want to move my stop to break even at that point. For that exact reason. You had aggressive buying at the value low, and they got rejected. So if buyers will buy, they'll buy somewhere right around here. That's where you should start to see buying again, because the whole value is up here. That's where most contracts, so they're going to buy somewhere below here. Once close here, move to break even. And that'll be officially where I keep my my stop at break even. All right. Once we close below here, then we can kind of move to break even at this point. You saw buyers failed up here again twice. And sellers have initiated right here was where the point you could have gone short here if you waited for candle closure. And you could even go above point of control. You have this range. Honestly, we could go, this could go all the way down to there. That's where we could see price go if we start to gain momentum. Still tired. All right. So we should see this close below. So as soon as we close below here, move to break even, and hopefully get the movement down. I'm assuming it's going to come to this point of control. If we do start to get the covering into this area and sellers start to gain steam, you could target. This could be like a $3,000 trade, but I'm good with that. Right below the previous range in the box, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're starting to see some movement here. So now I'm going to want to get a little closer into the price action. Let's zoom in here a little bit so you kind of get an idea of what's it close below here. And this was the value area low test right here of this. There's like a little box right here. And this is the value area low test where that was. So break, retest, go lower. We got to see it close below here, below this last little sell area. Once we see the close below there, then we'll be solid. We're most likely going to come to here before this box right here is before when you see buying start to appear. And if buying gets absorbed there, then we're going to go down to the POC. That'll be the two ways to analyze how this is going to play out. Excuse me. Okay, so we closed below that first one. Now we're going to wait for the close of the second one. If this closes, then yeah, it's definitely going to close. We'll start to see orders, aggressive orders come between this where this box is. And we can move to break even. Dun 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 dun. Once it closes here. Well, good. We'll move to break even here. It's gonna close. We closed. There it goes. Okay. Now we're gonna target down here. This is where buying took place down here too. So this is an important area right here. Right in this area. We could come down right to this area. So at this point, risk-free, getting more aggressive sellers. CVD is growing our direction. Even more aggression, sorry. And yeah, we risked what, 470 to make a little over 1,100 or a little over 1,000. So a little over 2 to 1. So you're going to see aggression here, and they're going to try to push slower. And we could see it come all the way down to here, possibly, if we start to see momentum. So now we'll just wait, and hopefully these orders they push through. They're definitely going to close below this gap probably, and then see if they come down to either here. This is another important area here. I'll work this out. So charts. That's a reference point. You could exit there. And the reason took this trade is this is why. This is kind of where the value are lowest. We bounced off so far. So the reason behind we took this trade was I drew a box from here because we're consolidating, right? And I just drew it from here. And what happened here was this is a value area low, right? We tested, broke, retest, and your point of control was right here. So you could have placed a stop loss right above here. Mine was a little higher because I think the point of control shifted for me or something. Yeah, it was somewhere right around there. Yeah, so technically you could have gone, your stop loss could have gone here. Mine was a little bigger. I drew that slightly wrong. So right there. That's where I had it. Break value low, retest, sell off. And there we are, guys. We'll see what happens there at this value lower here. This is where we're at. If we break this value low for this big range, then we're going to go down to the POC where I talked about most likely to the point of control. TPO profile, we're in the very expensive range, so it was getting more and more expensive in terms of where volume was traded today and on Friday. So sellers were going to start to engage, and you saw absorption up to the top. So those are two things that you can take into account. So you have being expensive. CVD is continue. Oh my God, this delta's low. CVD was the cumulative volume delta was getting lower as we're making highs. So look right here, making highs, making highs, making highs, making highs. Then we finally hit the double top absorption, break of the value area low, retest, short, and then you could ride this trade out longer. This I just bought this account, another one, so I'm trying to have like 4 or 5 funded Blue Guardians, and then pass those on stream with you guys. But look at this, CVD's continuing to grow. So this move's going to break out. You could exit here, or you could exit the POC, which is down here at 85. So you might see some aggressive buyers here, but I don't think they're going to start buying. If you don't see aggressive buying on the value low here, then yeah. There's one bubble. Just one. One small one. And if this hits, we'll end the stream. We'll call it a day. Basically would be break even for the day. I made 1,100 on one account. This would be like almost a little over 1,000 on this account, and then minus 2,000 on one account. So basically positive. Slightly. So you're getting, this is where the value low is right here. You are getting aggressive buying, and price did shift. So I think that was right there. Yeah. Somewhere right on there. This is where the value low is. So you did get strong aggressive selling, but then aggressive buying, and that wasn't that big of an aggressive buy, and that actually took off nice. So that's not a good sign. You could have exited here too. Once we see this retest this, and if it breaks this, and the momentum continues, then yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna fall even further. I think technically we came off, yeah, this area where buying was right here, from here to here. This is where buying took place. So this is the two most valid areas right here. That's where the most extensive buying took place previously. So we'll draw that out green just for the support right here. And that's the last little volume spike of delta there. So we could come down. That's the biggest point here. So we come down to here before we see another move up. And there we go. Now you're starting to see the aggressive selling. They broke the value low. We're going to hit take profit, more than likely. More aggressive selling. And just like that, we hit take profit. This is going to go to here, or it's going to go all the way down to the point of control. We're going to get a strong move down. And the reason I'm saying is look at this. Look at the delta. We're climbing down. We'll see some rejection here, but then I think what we're going to see is the most, I don't know why oh, it shifted there. That's weird. We could see it. Right. Yeah, it's going to go to this area, I think. All right, so we hit that account. Up 1,000 on that one, up 1,000 on the other one. 1, 2. And I think we'll call it a day at that point. Unless I want to buy one more account on the Blue Guardians and max out my 5. And then try to hit those. But yeah, look at this. Look at this area I talked about where there's strong delta. So you could see buying, could see a move back up into this area. And this would be your sniper entry. That's where you could engage sniper entries. And this is right where I marked out. The reason being is, look at this. Just pull it across there to the high. Look at this area. This area right here. So this was the first initial strong buying area, and they rejected it, sold off. Then we came to the second initial strong buying area. What happened was we rejected it, bounced off. And you did see absorption, and then you see it. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it there. Call it a good day. And like that, we'll be back on. I'm going to be up early tomorrow. I'm going to be about 30 minutes open. We could start the live at 6 o'clock sharp. And then we could do some marking out together before the market opens and anticipate certain areas that we're looking at. Let me see what else I was looking at here. So if this was before market opened, let me erase this real quick. I don't need that. Don't need that. So this was before market open, right? You just mark out the zones. So what zone were we in before market open? If you opened up the charts, it would be somewhere between this range before market opened, right? And what do you see? All these areas for aggressive buying early or later on, earlier on in the night. This was the zone where you could have, as soon as we closed above there, you could have taken along here, or you could have just taken along there as soon as we closed above. Because what happened was we bounced at the value low right when market opened, absorption. Could have gone along there. You could have waited for here and just put a buy stop order above here and then target higher, or you could have just put a buy stop order above here as soon as we had these bubbles. Either way, they all would have worked out fantastically. It would have been a full take profit on all of them. But this was the zone I would have had marked out, and then you see strong delta all along here. So buying was definitely taking place. So, and if we wanted to bring it, drag it, let's say we drag it down here. Look at that. You had aggressive selling and they got absorbed right in that area. That's crazy. All right, so if we drug it here, what happened? This is where technically value was in this area. As soon as we broke above that value high, boom. But bounce, you had bounce. Right when we opened up. Alrighty. Like I said, if you want to hold this trade, you can hold it to the POC down here. This is where I would exit. If you really want to hold it till the end of the day, you could hold it till this point of control too. This is right where I would hold it if you're anticipating a super long move that comes all the way down. This is the next POC from this range. So that would be your first POC, your second POC. You could have, like, let's say if you had multiple contracts, you can get, I would get out mostly here, but you could have a second contract there. So, all right, well, I'll be on tomorrow, 6 a.m. sharp. We'll get that marking out. I wasn't up early enough today, so I missed all this, and I paid for it on one of my accounts, and that was a big problem. So, okay. Well, we are going to call it there. Everyone have a great day. Trade safe. We'll be back on tomorrow, 6 a.m.